Okay, Hurricane students. So the last few pages of The Outsiders, chapter 12. I hope that you're all doing well. Love and miss you. We chased him clear to the park. We were gaining on him, but he had a block's head start. Circle around and cut him off, Derry ordered. Even out of condition, I was the best runner. I'll stay right behind him. I headed through the trees and cut him off halfway across the park. He veered off to the right, but I caught him in a flying tackle before he'd gone more than a couple of steps. It knocked the wind out of both of us. We lay there gasping for a minute or two, and then Soda sat up and brushed the grass off his shirt. You should have gone out for football instead of track. Where did you think you were going? I lay flat on my back and looked at him. Derry came up and dropped down beside us. Soda shrugged. I don't know. It's just, I can't stand to hear y'all fight. Sometimes I just have to get out, or it's like I'm the middleman in a tug of war and I'm being split in half. You dig? Derry gave me a startled look. Neither of us had realized what it was doing to Soda to hear us fight. I was sick and cold with shame. What he said was the truth. Derry and I did play tug of war with him, with never a thought to how much it was hurting him. Soda was fiddling with some dead grass. I can't take sides. It'd be a lot easier if I could, but I see both sides. Derry yells too much and tries too hard and takes everything too serious. And Ponyboy, you don't think enough. You don't realize all Derry's giving up just to give you a chance he missed out on. He could have stuck you in a home somewhere and worked his way through college. Ponyboy, I'm telling you the truth. I dropped out because I'm dumb. I really did try in school, but you saw my grades. Look, I'm happy working in a gas station with cars. You'd never be happy doing something like that. And Derry, you ought to try to understand him more and quit bugging him about every little mistake he makes. He feels things differently than you do. He gave us a pleading look. Golly, you two, it's bad enough having to listen to it, but when you start trying to get me to take sides? Tears welled up in his eyes. We are all we've got left. We ought to be able to stick together against everything. If we don't have each other, we don't have anything. If you don't have anything, you end up like Dallas. And I don't mean dead either. I mean like he was before, and that's worse than dead. Please. He wiped his eyes on his arm. Don't fight anymore. Derry looked real worried. I suddenly realized that Derry was only 20, that he wasn't so much older that he couldn't feel scared or hurt and as lost as the rest of us. I saw that I had expected Derry to do all the understanding without even trying to understand him. And he had given up a lot for Soda and me. Sure, little buddy, Derry said softly. We're not going to fight anymore. Hey, Ponyboy, Soda said with a tearful grin. Don't you start crying too. One ball baby in the family's enough. I'm not crying, I said. Maybe I was. I don't remember. Soda gave me a playful punch on the shoulder. No more fights, okay, Ponyboy? Derry said. Okay, I said, and I meant it. Derry and I would probably still have misunderstandings. We were too different not to, but no more fights. We couldn't do anything to hurt Soda. Soda Pop would always be the middleman, but that didn't mean he had to keep getting pulled apart. Instead of Derry and me pulling him apart, he'd be pulling us together. Well, Soda said, I'm cold. How about going home? Race you, I challenged, leaping up. It was a real nice night for a race. The air was clear and cold and so clean it almost sparkled. The moon wasn't out, but the stars lit up everything. It was quiet except for the sound of our feet on the cement and the dry scraping sounds of leaves blowing across the street. It was a real nice night. I guess I was still out of shape because we all three tied. No, I guess we all just wanted to stay together. I still didn't want to do my homework that night, though. I hunted around for a book to read. But I'd read everything in the house about 50 million times, even Derry's copy of The Carpetbaggers, though he told me I wasn't old enough to read it. I thought so too after I finished it. Finally, I picked up Gone with the Wind and looked at it for a long time. I knew Johnny was dead. I had known it all the time, even while I was sick and pretending he wasn't. It was Johnny, not me, who had killed Bob. I knew that too. And I had just thought that maybe if I played like Johnny wasn't dead, it wouldn't hurt so much. The way Two-Bit, after the police had taken Dally's body away, had griped because he had lost his switchblade when they searched Dallas. "Is that all that's bothering you? That switchblade?" A red-eyed Steve had snapped at him. "No," Two-Bit had said with a quivering sigh. "But that's what I'm wishing was all that's bothering me." But it still hurt anyway. You know a guy a long time, and I mean really know him, you don't get used to the idea that he's dead just overnight. Johnny was something more than a buddy to all of us. I guess he had listened to more beefs and more problems from more people than any of us. A guy that'll really listen to you, listen and care about what you're saying, is something rare. And I couldn't forget him telling me that he hadn't done enough, hadn't been out of our neighborhood all his life. And then it was too late. I took a deep breath and opened the book. A slip of paper fell out on the floor and I picked it up. "Pony Boy, I asked the nurse to give you this book so you could finish it." It was Johnny's handwriting. I went on reading, almost hearing Johnny's quiet voice. "The doctor came in a while ago, but I knew anyway. I kept getting tireder and tireder. Listen, I don't mind dying now. It's worth it. It's worth saving those kids. Their lives are worth more than mine. They have more to live for. Some of their parents came by to thank me, and I know it was worth it. Tell Dally it's worth it. I'm just going to miss you guys. I've been thinking about it, and that poem that guy that wrote it, he meant you're gold when you're a kid, like green. When you're a kid, everything is new, dawn. It's just when you get used to everything that it's day. Like the way you dig sunsets, Pony. That's gold. Keep that way. It's a good way to be. I want you to tell Dally to look at one. He'll probably think you're crazy, but ask him for me. I don't think he's ever really seen a sunset. And don't be so bugged over being a greaser. You still have a lot of time to make yourself what you want to be. There's still lots of good in the world. Tell Dally. I don't think he knows. Your buddy, Johnny." Tell Dally. It was too late to tell Dally. Would he have listened? I doubted it. Suddenly, it wasn't only a personal thing to me. I could picture hundreds and hundreds of boys living on the wrong sides of cities. Boys with black eyes who jumped at their own shadows. Hundreds of boys who maybe watched sunsets and looked at stars and ached for something better. I could see boys going down under the streetlights because they were mean and tough and hated the world, and it was too late to tell them that there was still good in it, and they wouldn't believe you if you did. It was too vast a problem to be just a personal thing. There should be some help. Someone should tell them before it was too late. Someone should tell their side of the story. And maybe people would understand then and wouldn't be so quick to judge a boy by the amount of hair oil he wore. It was important to me. I picked up the phone book and called my English teacher. "Mr. Sim, this is Pony Boy. That theme, how long can it be?" "Why, no less than 5 pages. He sounded a little surprised. I had forgotten that it was late at night. "Can it be longer?" "Certainly, Pony Boy, as long as you want it." "Thanks," I said and hung up. I sat down and picked up my pen and thought for a minute, remembering a handsome, dark boy with a reckless grin and a hot temper. A tough, tow-headed boy with a cigarette in his mouth and a bitter grin on his hard face. Remembering, and this time it didn't hurt. A quiet, defeated-looking 16-year-old whose hair needed cutting badly and who had black eyes with a frightened expression to them. 1 week had taken all 3 of them, and I decided I could tell people, beginning with my English teacher. I wondered for a long time how to start that theme. how to start writing about something that was important to me. And I finally began like this. When I stepped out into the bright sunlight from the darkness of the movie house, I had only two things on my mind: Paul Newman and a ride home. Do you see how that ended there? The circular ending and beginning. So Ponyboy, through basically the entire book is Ponyboy's essay for the class. So hopefully that provided a really nice catharsis for him. And what catharsis means is just like a cleansing, an emotional cleansing. So, it's often said that when you're ready to talk about things that are hard, like going to counseling or talking to someone about it, helps, and you end up feeling like a weight lifted after you talk about it. So hopefully this will provide some resolution for Ponyboy and his family. All right. Well, I miss all of you, and I hope that you're doing well. And just remember Robert Frost's poem, nothing gold can stay, but try to stay gold. It's so important to try to stay gold and stay innocent and stay childlike and just have fun and not get too tainted and hardened by all of the tough situations that no matter what your where you live or who you are or what your race is, everyone has problems and adversity. So it's just important to be kind to one another. You never know what someone's story is, and just to try to be happy through it. Hopefully, one of my favorite quotes I've talked to you guys about is, "The sweet isn't as sweet without the bitter." So if we didn't have those tumultuous times in our lives and those hard times in our lives, then we wouldn't truly enjoy just the grand, wonderful feelings in life. So just one way to look at it. So I hope that all of you right now are having more happiness than sadness. It's nice to have a ratio. If you can at least have 60% happy and 40% sad, obviously that's not great, but at least more happy than sad is our goal in life. At least, I don't know, I think it's a good goal to try to have. So anyways, I'll stop blabbing, and I love and miss you all, and hopefully you'll get to stop by in the hallway next year and say hi to me. So bye guys.